Hi there. Our last trip on Eglinton's Crosstown took us to the Aga Khan Museum. You can see that blog on my website, where history and culture come together in beauty. Today, we'll see another way to blend history and culture. Steve Tasses' homage to the diner and best repurposing of a video store I've ever seen, the Egglinton Grill. But first, a bit about the neighborhood. The first commercial strip along Eglinton after the Crosstown trains leave the Mount Dennis terminus is the bit around Keele Street. It's the first stop on the train to Keelesdale Station. Kitty corner to the station is York Memorial Collegiate Institute, a secondary school within the Toronto District School Board operating at that site since January of 1930, with a number of additions built on since. 40 years ago, it was designated a heritage building by York City Council, one of the cities that now comprise Toronto. In 2019, the building sustained significant fire damage and is being rebuilt. In the years since, students have attended another nearby high school. It is scheduled to reopen in Feb of 2027. Graduates from MEMO, as it's known, are as varied as the neighborhood. Two-time Giller Prize-winning writer Suvankam Tamanasangva went there. So did comedian and The Daily Show correspondent Samantha Bee, CT weatherman Dave Duvall, former politician Alan Tonks, Ross Dawson, who was a Trotskyist leader and political activist, and Chuck Crate, leader of the Canadian Union of Fascists. Kind of got it all covered there. You can read more about York Memo on a link on my website. If you cross Keele and walk along the south side of Eglinton, it won't be long before you end up at the Egglinton Grill. So close, in fact, Tasses, the grill's owner-operator, assures me that even after the Crosstown construction crew packed up and left the area, he's not had a slump in business. School construction workers have picked up the slack. The grill, however, was new to me. It's the only place I know of where you can get breakfast at 6 a.m., so it was there I went on a Monday morning after my night at the sleep clinic. You've already read about that. When I entered at 6:30, I was in the company of 3 other solo breakfasters, all men with hard hats on, the chairs beside them. I was the only one carrying a book on the housing crisis. I picked a red leatherette banquette with a good view of the front of house where Steve served a light stream of takeout breakfasts and coffees from the counter. This is a highly diverse neighborhood, but it seemed like everyone knew the Eglinton Grill, likely because it's more than just a diner. You see, it also sells pop, chips, lottery tickets, and so on. Steve brought me my choice of coffee, Tim's Colombian, and something hazelnutty. I chose Colombian for sure. I like my coffee to taste of coffee, and Tim's just doesn't really do it for me. I also ordered a mushroom Swiss omelette with a side of home fries and rye toast. He placed the order through the kitchen window just ahead of me. Steve designed this smartly. He can run the whole show easily without help on the floor. My food arrived and I dressed the potatoes with ketchup and sriracha. It was all just what you'd want from a diner breakfast, full of fat and carbs. On a regular day, I would have demolished it all. That day, though, I worked away at it for a while, mentally humming along with Prince's Little Red Corvette and other 80s hits booming from Boom 97.3, a fave of mine too, and idly flipping pages of my book. My sleep study fatigue had drained my energy for food, though, and I had to call it at about the 3/4 mark. By then, Steve and I were in deep convo. He'd explained how he'd opened 41 years ago as a video store. By 1989, he'd bought the building and was enjoying the spoils of the VHS and DVD rentals that entertained us all through the 90s and into the early 2000s. 9 years ago, though, he recognized streaming killed the video store. He repurposed the place as a diner. Smart move, given he was already an established business owner on the Strip. He's open 7 days a week, beginning at 6 a.m. on weekdays. On the weekends, he's got help, but I get the impression he's pretty happy there on his own, chatting away to customers. He did recently take a few weeks off when he had some surgery and was chuffed his daughter capably stepped into his shoes. Steve's not eyeing retirement yet, having too much fun. With the least expensive brekkie I'd had in years, I was having fun too. As I returned to my car, Oh yeah, I cheated and drove to my Crosstown breakfast. I passed by the York Southwestern Community Hub, set up first as a campaign office for municipal council candidate Kiara Padavani in 22. Despite not getting the votes that year, she was short by just 94. Kiara kept this spot alive and operating through donations and provided much needed support to people in my ward. As it was not even 7:30 yet on a Monday morning, the hub wasn't the hubbub it would surely be within a couple of hours. This neighborhood is lucky to have people like Kiara and Steve who care about making welcoming spaces geared to regular people. Lucky, too, to have a crosstown train to get there. Thanks for watching.